Okay, the reason I made this video was to talk about the induction process into Christianity. And what I mean by that is the process by which someone is converted to Christianity. And I've noticed a two-step pattern that's usually followed when people come to accept Christianity. The first step in the pattern is where Christianity makes a need for itself in someone's life. And the second step is where Christianity fills that need with itself. Christianity does this by working on our innate insecurities about ourselves, and it bolsters them. These insecurities could be fear of death, fear of not being accepted, fear of being inadequate. And what Christianity will do is that it will say, "You're worthless. Without God, you're nothing." But then it'll turn around and say, "Well, but we have the God that can save you from what you are." So in one breath, Christianity tells you that you're worthless, and then goes on to tell you that it is the cure to make you not worthless. And I think there's something sinister about this approach to converting people, because Christianity creates a trap. It makes it so that without Christianity, you're worthless, and only with it do you have real value. So in effect, it basically strips you of any inherent value you had, and replaces it with a sort of shallow and artificial place marker. What disturbs me the most about this whole process, though, are the tactics that Christianity employs to convert its members. I can only think of two scenarios that use similar tactics. One is an abusive relationship, and two is a sales pitch. In an abusive relationship, the abuser usually devalues the victim by insisting that the victim has no value outside of what the abuser gives to them. In this way, the victim is trapped because the victim feels so helpless that he or she doesn't even feel like she can escape the situation. At this point, I think it's blatantly obvious that the induction process into Christianity shares many parallels with an abusive relationship. Furthermore, consider the tactics of a salesman who's trying to get consumers to buy his product. The first thing he'll do is tell you that your product is worthless or inadequate. Then, in the same breath, he'll turn around and show you his product, which apparently solves all the problems inherent with the product you have. And in the end, what you'll be left with is something that you didn't want or need to begin with. It's just something that you've been conned into accepting. Okay, here's the part where I break down the process, because I think the process only works if both steps are followed. To demonstrate this, I'll use a scenario. Imagine that a Christian walks up to an atheist in the street. The Christian asks the atheist, "Would you like to be saved?" To this, the atheist should respond, "Well, I have nothing to be saved from, so I think I'm good." Because people who don't need saving don't need Christianity. If step one is left out of the process won't work. Now, I'm not saying that everybody converts to Christianity for the same reasons, or that every single person who converts to Christianity follows this process. But what I am saying is that the majority of people who convert follow this pattern, and that there's a trade-off to be made when the person converts. This trade-off, the trade-off between true value and the value ascribed to someone by Christianity, is, I think, a lopsided one. After all, humans are so beautiful and have so much inherent value in them that I think it's a shame that someone would trade that for something which hasn't even been proved to be real. And that, I think, is the tragedy of converting to Christianity.